Hello, everybody. Mr. Balker, I'm going to go over with you the Amplify lesson for the grammar. So stay with me, and we're going to go to Amplify. Scrolling down here to subunit 2. And we're doing identifying and fixing complete sentences, this one right here. So let's get started. Identifying fragments. This is something we did a while ago, so you guys are familiar with it. A fragment is a sentence that doesn't contain either a subject or a predicate, right? The subject is who's doing the action, and the predicate is what is the action, okay? So on the first example here, or to watch the movie. Who? What do you mean? We don't have a complete sentence here. We don't have anybody doing it, right? So that's a fragment. You will need a car to get to the beach. You will need. That's fine. It's fine to borrow my father's van. It's fine to borrow. Also, complete sentence. Okay. What is the subject in this one? The being fine, the state of being. Okay. Next one. Dino is nice, athletic, and smart. Dino is our subject. Nice, athletic, and smart is what he is being. That is a complete sentence. The next one here, for example, in the beginning of the book. Yeah, what about it? What happens at the beginning of the book? We don't know. Look at the third one. Knew suddenly her decision was wrong. Who knew suddenly her decision was wrong? We don't know. We don't have a subject. B and C are incorrect. On to the third one. 23 black and white cows, each with a silver cowbell around its neck. What about them? What's the action here, guys? We don't have one, right? That's the problem. The last time my brother borrowed my baseball bat and glove, I wasn't able to find either of them for 2 weeks. So here you have a dependent clause. The last time my brother borrowed my baseball bat and glove. And here you have an independent clause, meaning it stands on its own. I wasn't able to find either of them for 2 weeks. This is a fine sentence. Third one, spinning across the ground like a tornado that has lost control. Who? Who spun across the ground? We don't know. It doesn't say. I'll let you guys do 4 and 5 on your own. We're going to go to slide 3 now, identifying fragments. Same exact idea. These do get a little bit more complicated. When he spoke to his mom, it was all settled. Here we have a dependent clause when he spoke to his mom, and here we have the independent clause. It was all settled. That's a fine sentence. Instead of waking me up at 6:30 to give me time to eat breakfast, that's just a dependent clause, right? The instead of part makes this depend on something else, so that won't fly. Unless he finds his old pair of sunglasses, that's an independent clause. Here we have, sorry, that is a dependent clause. Here we have an independent one. Mario will have to wear those ugly orange shades. That's a complete sentence, and this ties to it. So B is your correct answer on that one. If you find an old beat-up baseball mitt with the initials JT on it, yeah, what about it? It doesn't tell us, right? We know that's a fragment. Because I said it was a problem. Yeah, so what? Because it was a problem, what? We don't have any action. Until he walked through the door, dependent clause. I'd never seen a man so tall, independent clause. I'd never seen a man so tall as a complete sentence all by itself, so it's fine. A and B are not. Now let's go to number 3. Now that Melissa knows Zoe's birthday, she's going to plan a party. This is again a dependent clause. This is an independent clause. She is going to plan a party. That's fine. Since the famous blizzard of '78, when the schools in Boston were shut down for 4 days, that is just dependent clause, right? This first one here is description. This is a dependent clause. We know we don't have an independent clause. We don't have any action and subject by themselves. That won't work. Since they were so delicious, we asked the waiter for more French fries. Since they were so delicious is a dependent clause. We asked the waiter for more French fries is an independent clause. They work together. Notice how it just sounds right. Okay, again, one of the things you want to look at is if I only gave you this sentence and I walked away, would you know what the heck I was talking about? No, not in this case on B. Okay, I'll let you do 4 and 5 on your own. Let's do slide number 4. Same thing, identify a fragment in a longer passage. So here they've got the fragment over on the side. The other day, I learned to make fresh pasta. That's fine. My aunt came to visit from Connecticut. and she loves cooking. Okay. D, my aunt came to visit from Connecticut is independent, and then here's a dependent tied to it. Great. Unlike my mom. What about her? We don't know anything about after that, right? There's no action, just a subject. C is a fragment. While Michelle is 1 year older than his brother, while Michael is just 1 year older than his brother, he looks after him. For example, on their first day at school, notice how that sounds wrong? Think about it. If I just said, for example, on the first day at school and then I walked away, you'd say, yeah, what happened? B is a fragment. Babysitting on Friday night was a complete disaster. Fine sentence. Warning sign number 1 was a messy living room with breakfast cereal all over the floor. Also a complete sentence. All sorts of brown, crunchy bits under my heels. What about them? See? It doesn't say I stepped on. It just says all sorts of brown, crunchy bits under my heels. Don't know what that means. There's no action. C is incomplete. I'll let you do 4 and 5 on your own again. Let's do number 5. George, my dad's cousin. See how you can just hear it? Like it just sounds crazy, right? What about him? He doesn't do anything. It's missing a predicate. There's no action in that sentence. Next one. Until I find a replacement for Tim. That's a dependent clause. Then we have an independent clause. May is playing goalie. That's fine. You have both parts that you need for a complete sentence. May is playing goalie. Number 3, because Moyenda decided to go off on her own, I was stuck doing the dishes. Because she went off on her own, that's dependent. And then I was stuck doing the dishes, that's independent. That's a complete thought. And I'll let you do 4 and 5 on your own. That's it. I hope this was an easy one for you, and I will see you for the next one. Thanks, guys.